Hello everyone, I'm Zeenat Firdaus. I have Dr. Sukant Khurana here with me. He's a well-known entrepreneur, mentor, scientist, public speaker, and an artist. Welcome, sir.
Thank you for having me here.
Thanks. So this series is about art and technology. And my question to you, sir, is what is painting done only using paints or are there other options?
Several other options are there, and from the time camera was invented, and also people learn to experiment, learn to dare. Things have changed. I mean, the daringness was even attempted during Renaissance time, trying to paint using media which wasn't supposed to be. Even there is very interesting history of oil paints and how even walls of various places. I mean, what is even the background story to Sistine Chapel and all. But before coming directly to your question, there are various approaches, right, which are not just relying on pigment. One can do collage, right, which began extensively with Cubism. There are modern painters adopt things like they put metal, plastic, sand, cement, right, straw, leaves, wood for their texture, right? So it's not limited to paint. I do quite a bit of it. Sometimes I like to go back to pure paint. Right. So it depends. And if you look at my work, layers and layers of paint, and people sometimes would argue that my raw material costs are probably 20 times higher than others because sometimes you can see an inch of thickness of paint sometimes, and it's all paint. So, but in the end, art is the process and the final thing. Unfortunately, for a lot of galleries and for customers, not patrons, there is a final product, right? And there is a dentist shop art or a hotel art. And if I have to be honest, I will be smug about it. Not the kind of art I care about, right? I care about art on a cup. I care about what Vinci made or a lot of things Picasso made, and maybe being self-centric. Almost everything I make. I'm not very big fan of what I see in waiting room of a doctor. So not always. I mean, once in a while I have seen some interesting stuff, but the way most of art is seen as a final product. So whatever gets you there. But those who are more inclined towards a process, right? It's therapy. It's the whole journey for them. In that sense, people will use various things, and sometimes you want to express an idea very quickly. You may just simply cut a colored paper and stick it to canvas. What's wrong with it, right? So once you break free from what a painting is supposed to be, you can do anything. I have loved to play with things like Coral. It used to be Coral Draw long back. Can tell you how old I am. When I was playing with it in 2000, 2001, 2, 3. There's Adobe Photoshop that I've been using. So there are various digital canvas media, right? So there are a lot of non-traditional elements in addition to paint. And I often even think I would paint and then burn it to give a different thing because that's a controlled destruction, and sometimes there's uncontrolled destruction. I have taken guns, and people might even then say, yeah, you lived in Texas, which I did for almost 10 years. I've taken guns and shot my canvases for effects. I have put petroleum products on my canvas, lit them on fire. I've done it in a controlled way. For me, sometimes even painting has been the process of continuous self-destruction and recovery and hopeless attempt to recover and what's left. For me, even some of the paint has been the mold that grows in the art because I'll throw it outside. I'll leave it for weathering for years sometimes, right? So, like one of my friends was visiting my house for the first time, and he was asking another close friend, Ben Kelly. I think Brooks was also in the room. So this guy was asking, so which address it is on Medical Street. So I used to live in a street called Medical Street in Austin, Texas for almost 4 years. He said, just take the turn. It was a major food shop, and the first house you see where you start seeing a lot of canvases around, including on trees laid out outside, right? Various places you see just canvases hanging in various shapes and forms. Sukant's home is approaching where there's highest density. So you'll start seeing it from, 100 feet around spread out. So that used to be the thing, that there's, canvases lying around. So for me, part of even the color has been what nature has to paint, which might even include crochet, right? Which might even include hail. But people have been playing. Those who want to do not the process art and the weathering, they've been using metal, sand, cement, straw, leaves, wood, or various paper collages. And digital media has obviously transformed things, not just for the final so-called art or product. They've also been transformative for the initial ideas, quick ideation. So that's your answer, that there are so many more things other than pigment to make things from.
This was very interesting, sir. Thank you.